Greetings and salutations, everyone, from the kingdom of the Most High. So, I'm back with another video. So, I wanted to start with this one, Daniel 9:27. The reason I'm making this video is because I noticed that um a lot of people, for some reason, they think that the tribulation is 7 years. And then I'm like, why do they think that the tribulation is 7 years? So then they point out to Daniel 9:27, where it says, and he shall confirm a covenant with many for 1 week, and in the middle of the week he shall put an end to slaughtering and meal offering, and on the wing of abominations he shall lay waste, even into the complete end. And that which is decreed is poured out on the one who lays waste. So, okay, so it says for 1 week. So that's why I say 7 days. But then also they say it's because for some reason they say the Antichrist is gonna come and make a peace treaty with Jerusalem for 7 years. And then I still, for years, I'm like, I don't get why they think that. Because when I read it, there's other ways that this can be interpreted. And that's why, we should help out each other. These videos, we can comment, and we can, brainstorm and try to figure out what it can mean. So, it's okay if somebody disagrees. I can change my mind. It's all about learning and challenging what you really believe. So, but I'm like, okay, but what about Jesus? Like I said, I believe Jesus is the God in the Old Testament. So I believe he was the one that made a covenant with us, started with Abraham. And like I was telling y'all, how a week could also mean, the 7,000 years. And how I said that I believe that, Elohim gave us 7,000 years to live on this earth, 6,000 years for us to do it ourselves, 6 days of work, and the last millennial year or millennial will be the reign of Christ, which is the rest, the Sabbath. So that could mean that too. It could mean that Jesus made a peace treaty. Think about it. And I spoke about it in the last video, how they were saying Melchizedek is the king of or I think, yeah, the king of peace. So wouldn't makes more sense that Jesus will be the one to make the peace treaty with us, the covenant. So, and then another point that I like to say about that is that, remember how Jesus, mind you, he was living here for more than 30 years. He didn't start his ministry till he was 30. And mind you, we all know he died when he was 33 and a half. His birthday was around the fall and he died around the spring. So he was 33 and a half. He started when he was 30, and then 3.5 years later, he got cut off. So that can also mean that, because, the popular idea Christians say is that, the Antichrist will sign a peace treaty for 7 years, and that in the middle of that peace treaty, that I guess things are gonna go bad. And what they say is a 7-year tribulation. So I guess as soon as he signs it, it's supposed to be really bad. But then I forget what they say is supposed to happen after the 3.5 years. I'm not. You know what? I was thinking that I was gonna make a video about Robert Breaker because I couldn't believe I saw. I think I seen the entire video about his views, and I'm like, I can't believe this. It's like, do people really believe? It's like, do he really read? I'm starting to think people don't really read their Bible. I think they just memorize traditions. And when they do read their Bible, they're just confirming what their pastor taught them. They don't read it, from scratch. Anyways, before I forget my point, I kind of did. But you see how, about the 7-year tribulation. I forget. Yeah, I was going to make a video about the Robert Breaker so I can better explain what people believe, because it's like, I don't believe the popular story about the 7-year tribulation, and it doesn't make any sense. So I'm gonna do a video because that'll probably be easier for me to like just do the Robert Breaker while he's doing his rapture video, because that'll probably be better, make more sense for me. But I forgot, but I'm just gonna go on and so I can, remember what I said. Truly I say to you, this generation shall by no means pass away till all this takes place. This wasn't part of my notes, but then when I was doing this, I was like, oh, I should add this one. Because if you see here, well, I was trying to look for what worldly people think about it. I came across 2 of them. I think there's the only one I wrote. And then if you look at this, dailyadvocate.com, and go to their what they believe about the I think it was tribulations. And I'm like, I cannot believe what these people think. It's like, wow. So I think it was one of these that they use this one. I know they use a whole bunch of these, but then they try to use this one, I think. But I put this one here because Jesus was trying to say that, you see how it says, this generation should by no means pass away till all this takes place. So you can't say that he's talking about the wicked people, but I think he's talking about all people, good, bad, wicked. This generation shall not pass away until all this takes place. He was talking about the tribulation. But, that's my interpretation of it. That this world is not going to end until the tribulation is over. See what I'm saying? 1 Thessalonians 1:10, and to wait for his son from the heavens, whom he raised from the dead, Jesus, who is delivering us from the wrath to come. Okay, so they put that one to I guess prove that we don't go through tribulations. They don't know. I don't think they know the difference between the wrath of God and tribulations. They think it's synonymous. From the wrath to come. If they read their Bible, they will know that everywhere it says we will go through tribulation, but not the wrath to come. That's reserved for the wicked. So for him to show this and say, oh, here, there's no tribulation. It didn't say tribulation. It said wrath to come, not tribulation. Now, Revelations 3:10, because you have guarded my word of endurance, I also shall guard you from the hour of trial, which shall come upon the world to try those who dwell on the earth. Now, that's another one he tried to prove, to say, you see, there's no tribulation. We don't go. Well, no. They say there's a tribulation, but they're saying that Christians won't go through tribulations. This particular website, they believe in the pre-tribulation rapture. They say as soon as the Antichrist signs the treaty, that we're all of a sudden going up to the heavens. So then he tried to use this as proof that we don't go through tribulations. But let's read it again. It says, I will guard you from the hour of trial. I don't have it. Wait, do I have it here? Oh, I hope I have it here. But then you can take the hour as a day. And a day is a year in the Bible. So they weren't talking about the tribulations here. They were talking about the wrath of God, which is the hour of trial. This is not talking about tribulation, so you can't use this to try to prove there's no that we don't go through tribulations. Doesn't make any sense. Revelations 4:1. After this I looked and saw a door having been opened in the heaven. And at the first voice which I heard was like the trumpet speaking with me, saying, come up here and I shall show you what has to take place after this. This, he also tried to prove, yo, I'm not playing. He really tried to use this to prove that as soon as the tribulation starts, that this is the rapture, when it says come up here and I will show you what it they really try to show this and say, here, you see, prove that we're gonna get raptured before the tribulation starts. Huh? When I always read this, the way I interpreted it was that John, when he was having that vision, they was telling him this, come up here so I can show you what's going to take place. It's not talking about, people getting raptured. But hey, that's the way, some people could look at it, but it's clearly not saying that. I would have to see why they think this verse proves that this is a rapture. John wasn't even raptured. John was like dreaming or having a vision. It wasn't like literal. Let's keep going. Genesis 7:10, and it came to be after 7 days that the waters of the flood were on earth. Okay, so they call these the great. Okay. This is another verse I guess they try to use. Why did I write this for this verse? Basically, my note, I put, they call these the great trib, not just the trib. So then I noticed that in the Daily Advocate, they're making it seem like the first 3 years was just a regular tribulation, and then the rest of the was the great tribulation. No. The way I see it is the tribulations is called tribulations. The tribulations is for us. It's going to be the wicked people trying to get rid of us. The wrath of God is the punishment for the wicked from God. But here, they're making it seem like the great tribulation is the wrath of God. No. They're getting, that's why they're confused. See what I'm saying? The wrath of God is not the great tribulation. The great tribulation is the tribulation. We always have tribulations throughout, humanity. Ever since it exists, we all went through tribulations. But the great tribulation is the one at the end. The biggest one Christians have never seen before. He even said it. There's going to be such a great trib that you have never seen before. You'll be persecuted. So I don't know why he said the great tribulation is the wrath of God. And that's how he really said it. I'm dead kidding. Y'all, if y'all want proof, dailyadvocate.com, where he talks about the pre-tribulation rapture. He really said that. Okay, moving forward. 1 Thessalonians 5:2-4. You yourselves know very well that the day of the Lord comes as a thief in the night. He also tried to say this one as proof that supposedly there's going to be a rapture. Because Elohim did not appoint us to wrath, but to obtain deliverance through our master. Another proof he tried to show, because it says he did not appoint us to wrath. Just because he didn't appoint us to wrath doesn't mean we're going to get raptured. Remember? When the flood came, did they get raptured? No. See what I'm saying? When they were escaping Egypt, did they get raptured? No. They stood here. God gave them a place here to be saved. Revelation 6:10, and they cried with a loud voice, saying, How long, O Master, set apart and true, until you judge and avenge our blood of those who dwell on the earth? And they tried to use this as proof, but this describes murder Christians. Yeah, he tried to say that this, for some reason, means that they're saying in heaven, I forgot exactly, but they made it seem like this is proof that we're not going to go through all tribulations. I'm like, when I read this, this is obvious that this is actually the people that died. And it said, oh Lord, how much more. This is describing the prayers of people when they're seeing their fellow brothers and sisters getting killed. We're going to be praying, oh, Lord, how much more can we endure? That's what it's talking about. This is not happening in real life. This is John seeing a vision of what's going to happen. So in order for him to see the vision, it has to be, explained. That's how the vision is being explained to him, saying, oh, this is going to happen to the people. But I digress. John 17:15. I do not pray that you should take them out of the world, but that you keep them from the wicked one. Yeah, he tried to use this one too, when I guess it says you keep them from the wicked one. Huh? What? What in the world? He really tried to use this as, oh, you see, we don't go through the tribulation. He says he will keep us from the wicked one. When I read it, that's not what I thought of it. It just meant that, okay, we are in the world. We're not part of the world. We have to suffer in the world. So he's saying, okay, I'm not saying don't take them out of the world. I'm saying give them strength to endure what's gonna happen to them. Like, people don't know, if you're gonna be a soldier, how are you supposed to be trained if you never fight, if you never train? Oh no, don't train, I'll just protect you. How? No. Okay, Revelations 11:15. I have to go kind of fast now because my phone is dying. And the seventh messenger sounded, and there came to be loud voices in heaven saying, The reign of this world has become the reign of our master and of his Messiah, and he shall reign forever and ever. This one was one that I put, okay? Because, look, it says, and the seventh messenger, we all know that's the last messenger. And when the last trumpet is sounded, then Jesus is going to come and set up his reign forever and ever. But it's like, I forgot the way they described it, but they made it seem like the seventh trumpet was the rapture. Huh? And they said the rapture is before tribulations. Huh? You see what I'm saying? No, like, I hope I'm explaining this right, but you see what I'm saying? And okay, let's say for supposedly there's a rapture. So people get raptured to heaven, right? But then they're getting raptured to heaven, but then Jesus is coming back. So then they're gonna get raptured to heaven, then come back again. Huh? Why not just leave them here until you come back? But it never said, oh yeah, they're going to heaven, then they're gonna come back. It never said that. But let's move it along. 7:3 saying, do not harm the earth, nor the sea, nor the trees, until we have sealed the servants of our Elohim upon their foreheads. So another thing that I wanted to mention, who like who do they think the 144,000 are? If they're saying that Christians will be raptured, so you're saying that only some Christians are getting raptured and then some Christians are staying to suffer? They don't say this because who are these people? Because by this time, do not, okay, this one is saying, okay, before the wrath of God comes, seal the people. Seal the people so then the spirit of death can pass over them, just like the times of Moses, when the wrath of, mind you, he never took them out. I think I already mentioned that. When the plagues of Egypt came, he didn't say, oh well, I'll just rapture you out, you don't have to suffer. No, he made them seal their homes so the spirit of death can pass over them. So who are these people that are going to be sealed with the mark of Elohim? You see what I'm saying? And people are raptured out. Why do they need to be? Who are these people that are left over? That's going to be that are protected by God. It doesn't make any sense when you think about how they think about. Like I said, this is describing there's still going to be some of us Christians left over. But before the wrath of, this is the wrath of God, when the earth when the earth starts to getting destroyed. The tribulation is more about us getting destroyed. But in the difference between the tribulation and that, like I said, tribulation is us. It's us getting, killed, us going through tribulations. The wrath of God is the wrath of God towards the wicked people. See what I'm saying? So when this starts happening, when the earth and the sea start getting all burned up and all these plagues, that's the wrath of God, okay? And he's saying before that happens, we're gonna seal you. So if people were raptured, who are these people? Something to think about. 7:14 Revelations. And I said to him, Master, and he said to me, these are those coming out of the great, this one says distress, but great tribulation, having washed their robes and made them white in blood of the Lamb. So what do they think this means when it says these people were the ones killed from the great tribulations? So who are these people getting killed? If everybody that was good got raptured, who are the people that stayed? See what I'm saying, y'all? How things don't make any sense when you follow traditions and not the word of God. Revelations 6:9-11. And when he opened the fifth seal, I saw the slaughter place of the beam of those having been slain for the word of Elohim. Huh? Oh, and look, this is the fifth seal. Remember, the seals are the tribulations, and the trumpets are the wrath of God. Okay, we go through 7 seals. So before the sixth seal, most of us are already gonna be dead. I'm sorry to tell you. That's why it says right here. And when he opened the fifth seal, I saw under the slaughter place the beams of those having been slain. So these are good people. This is not, wicked people that didn't get raptured and all of a sudden changed their mind. Oh no. That's not what it is. And for the witness which they had held, and there was given to each one a white robe, and they were told that they should rest a little while longer until both the number of their fellow servants and their brothers who would be killed as they were completed. So this is basically saying that, describing how people will be killed, the Christians will be killed, right? And then in the vision, God was trying to tell John, saying, no, these people, they're gonna get killed and they're still gonna stay asleep. You see, people don't go to heaven, they sleep. So they're gonna stay asleep until when? Until the world is over, until everybody has been killed, until everything has been completed. They're gonna stay asleep just a little longer more until the Father comes and wakes us up from the dead. See what I'm saying? Everything has to be complete. What is complete? Us dying. Because you have to die to be born again, don't you? That's what born again means. And the woman fled into the wilderness, where she has a place prepared by Elohim to be nourished there 1,260 days. Also, I never even told y'all my theory. I don't know if it's a theory because I'm kind of pretty sure about it. My theory is when it says that the Antichrist will sign a 7-year peace treaty. To me, that's not the way I interpret it. The way I interpret it is that Jesus was the one that made a covenant with us 7,000 years. Well, he came here to teach us himself. After three and a half years, it stopped, right? But then the last part of it is the ending. Get it? 3.5 years that Jesus came, with us to teach us. And then the last 3.5 years, is the end of the world. When those are going to be the times where we're going to be preaching. He came to preach, and then in the last days, we're going to be the last ones to preach. So then, like I was saying, it says right here, 3.5 years. So tribulations altogether is going to be the bad part of the last time of the Lord is going to be 3.5 years. So that's what I'm thinking. And then right here, this verse, this is where we're going to be hidden in the wilderness. It says, he will prepare a place for us. Once again, he will prepare a place for us. So then tribulations is our tribulations. But then right before the wrath of God starts, we're going to be marked with the mark of God. Remember, the devil copies God. There's the mark of the beast and the mark of God. We're going to be given the mark of God before the wrath of God comes. I hope you understand that. And then we'll be hidden in the wilderness, okay? That's what that means. And I saw thrones, and they sat on them, and judgment was given to them, and the lives of those who have been beheaded because of the witness they bore to Jesus, and because of the word of Elohim, and who did not worship the beast. Did not worship the beast. But if they were, raptured before this happened, who are these people that did not worship the beast, nor their image? They didn't receive their mark on their foreheads. But then there's people that say, oh no, God is not going to condemn you if you take the vaccine. He won't do that. You can take that little prick and nothing's going to happen to you. Well, Bible is making it seem like you rather, choose death than take this mark, being part of society, part of the world. A lot of y'all are worldly. Y'all don't know that we're still slaves. What did the Bible say? If you are a slave, you are not part of me. If you're a part of him, we are free. Free indeed. And a lot of y'all are willingly slaves. Y'all slaves. I'm telling y'all. Because why? Because y'all part of society. Y'all don't trust God. Well, you know, that's another topic. And they lived and reigned with Messiah for 1,000 years. It's like a lot of these people that believe in a pre-trib, post-trib, mid-trib. It's like, and you never, I guarantee you, they would never ever talk about this. Never. Never, ever, ever, ever. So then when I was watching Breaker's video, I'm like, wow, there's more confusion than I thought. Okay. It starts with a trib, right? That's 2.5 years, right? And then comes the wrath. Oh, I forgot to tell you. Remember when it says the year of the Lord? You know what? I try so hard to take notes, and I'm always forgetting something. But, you know, so far it's just little details. But he was saying how, where it says, oh, the day of the Lord is this, the day of the Lord is that. He was trying to say that I forgot exactly, but